Dogs. Ask around. People will tell you they're the best thing on this entire planet. Your comforter, your guard, the warm weight at the end of the bed, the one who's happy, completely happy, every single time you walk through the door. Like it's the first time. Every time. The good boy. We just have them now. They're ordinary. A dog asleep in a patch of sun is the least surprising thing in the world. But somewhere, thousands of years ago, there was a first one. The first dog. Before him, there were no dogs on Earth. Not one. Only wolves. Ever wonder how that happened? How something that wanted to eat us became something that waits by the door for us. This is the story of how we turned wolves into good boys. And the story of the very first one. It begins a long time ago, beside a fire, with someone who remembers it better than anyone. Oh, hello. You're here about the dog, aren't you? The first one. Sit down then, close to the fire. It's cold tonight, and this is a long one. I don't have a name. Names aren't a thing yet. Call me whatever you like. But I was there. And I remember it. The way you remember something that mattered. So, the first good boy. Let me tell you, before I tell you about the dog, I have to tell you about before the dog. Because to understand why this is a miracle, you have to understand what we were and what they were. So, wolves. Not the wolves in your books. The wolves I know are bigger, heavier. Their jaws crush bone. They hunt in packs of 15. They run for days. They take down animals 4 times their size. They are the best hunters on the planet. And I am this. I'm not fast. I'm not strong. My teeth are embarrassing. Put me in a fight with a wolf, the wolf wins. Put me in a fight with most things, the wolf still somehow wins. So that's me and the wolf. We are not friends. There is no version of the world where we are friends. Except, we want the same things. The same meat. Big, slow things that bleed a long time before they fall. And there aren't many of those left. The world is getting colder. The big animals are dying. So the wolf and I keep showing up at the same carcass. He growls, I yell. Somebody backs off. Nobody wins for long. For thousands of years. We're not enemies. Enemies is too strong. Enemies care. We're competitors. Which is worse. Competitors just need each other to go away. And that's why this story shouldn't exist. Friendship between enemies? Fine. People write songs about that. Friendship between 2 animals who want the exact same dinner? That's not supposed to happen at all. But one of them is going to walk closer. So, the wolf walks closer. You probably think this is the romantic part. 2 souls. Recognition across the firelight. No. The first wolf who walked closer didn't walk closer to me. He walked closer to my garbage. Here's the thing about humans. We are messy. We kill an animal, eat the best parts, leave the rest. Bones, skin, things that smell. We don't bury it. We can't be bothered. We move on. And the wolves are watching. Most wolves are smart enough to stay away. Humans throw rocks. Humans have fire. A normal wolf takes one look and says, nope. But there's always one weirdo. A little less scared. A little more curious. The other wolves think he's an idiot. But the idiot wolf is the one who eats tonight. So he eats, and he doesn't die. And he comes back. And the night after that, one of the other wolves goes, huh. This is how it starts. Not with love, with garbage. One wolf slightly less afraid than the others, and a pile of bones we couldn't be bothered to clean up. They call it self-domestication, which means The wolves did it themselves. We didn't tame them. The bold wolves ate more, had more puppies, and their puppies were bolder still. The scared ones stayed in the woods and had fewer. So over thousands of years, thousands, you end up with a wolf that's born unafraid of us. That's not a wolf anymore. That's something new. Nobody invented the dog. Nobody said, I'm going to make a wolf that loves me. We just left out the garbage, and the wolves did the rest. And somewhere in there, one of these new wolves did something no wolf had ever done. He walked all the way up to the fire, and he didn't leave. Now I want to tell you about a dog who lived 14,000 years ago. Not a wolf, a dog, a real one. The first one we know about for sure. We found him in a place that today is called Bonn-Oberkassel, but it wasn't called Germany then. It wasn't called anything. It was just the place where the river bends, probably. People didn't name places. They just knew them. He was young, maybe 7 months old, still mostly a puppy, and he was sick. We can tell now, from his teeth, from his bones. He had distemper. It's a terrible thing. It would have made him very weak. It would have made him shake. He would not have been able to hunt. He would not have been useful. He would have just been a dog. A sick dog. A dog who needed someone to take care of him. And somebody did. For weeks, somebody hand-fed him. Somebody kept him warm. Somebody sat with him through the shaking and the fevers and the long nights and nursed him through an illness he was never going to survive. They knew. They had to have known. You can see a thing dying. They knew he wasn't going to make it, and they took care of him anyway. Not because he was useful. He wasn't. Not because he could hunt or guard or pull or earn his place. He couldn't do any of it. He was a sick puppy who was going to die. They took care of him because they loved him. That's the whole reason. That's the only reason. There isn't another one. And when he died, they didn't leave him. He was found in a grave with 2 people in it, a man and a woman, and between them, him, the dog. They were buried together, on purpose, with care. Somebody arranged them. Somebody put the dog where the dog belonged, which was with his people. Right in the middle, right where he always was. 14,000 years ago, somebody loved a dog enough to bury him with the people who loved him most, and to send him into whatever comes next, not alone. He's the first one we know about for sure. That doesn't mean he was the first. He's just the one who got found. Somebody has to be first. Hi, buddy. So, we have a dog now, and what happens next is pretty much everything. Before the dog, we were small. Few of us. Little groups that hunted what they could, died young, and stayed where it was safe, because everywhere else would kill us. The wolf gave us the rest of the planet. Because with a dog, you can hunt what you couldn't before. The dog smells what you can't, hears what you can't, runs down the deer while you stand still and wait. So you eat more. More food, more children, longer lives, bigger groups. And when a group gets big enough, it splits, and someone walks somewhere new. And the dog goes too. Always. Crossing rivers, crossing mountains, crossing the ice bridge to the place we'd one day call America. Everywhere we went, the dog went. And we went almost everywhere. But here's the part I think is interesting. The dog didn't just help us hunt. The dog let us sleep. For most of human history, sleeping was dangerous. You closed your eyes and something could come. Somebody always had to stay awake. Every night. One person, sitting up, tired, watching. And then we had a dog. Better ears than us, better nose, better night vision, sleeps light, and cares whether we live. So for the first time in the entire history of being human, we could all sleep. All our brains resting at the same time. You don't build a civilization on no sleep, kids. You build it on dogs. And then we kept going. We bred them to herd, to pull, to fight, to sit on laps, which I still don't understand. Some of them look nothing like a wolf now. Some are the size of a loaf of bread. Some can't see through their own hair. Some are bred so friendly they'd lick a burglar. But every one of them, every chihuahua, every poodle, every weird little pug that can't breathe properly, traces back to a wolf who walked closer. The wolf gave us food, safety, sleep, most of the planet. And we gave the wolf a bed, a bowl, and a person. I think we got the better end of the deal, but I don't think the dog minds. So, that's the story. That's how it happened. Not with magic, not with a hero, with garbage and patience and one wolf who was slightly less afraid, and a long, long line of people who, every single time, chose to love the thing that chose to stay. It's been the same dog for 14,000 years. The fire became a lamp, the cave became a house. But the dog is still right there, at the foot of the bed, where he always was. Good night, kids. Give your dog a scratch for me. He's been waiting a long time.